day he finally stands up for himself and says, I wished you bullies were basically out of my life, then he gets arrested.
Well, they call me Brentina, homo.
He's been the victim of sexual harassment, homosexual comments, references, vandalism. They've broken his glasses.
Come on, that's a lot for anyone to put up with, let alone an 11-year-old child. And it gets worse. Dad says he reached out to his son's teacher about the repeated bullying, and he says he still hasn't heard a word. Joining us tonight, Dad, Jose Pereira, and his son, Brenton. I'm so glad, Jose and Brenton, that you can join us tonight. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
All right. Brenton, I'm going to get to you in a second, Brenton. I'm glad you brought your guitar tonight. Jose, your son tells you he's being bullied. You're his dad. Our job as parents is to do everything we can to protect our children. Tell us what you did.
Well, what I did is I've made numerous attempts to go to the school and went to the school numerous times, as well as my wife and 20-year-old daughter. The problem started approximately a year and a half ago with the name-calling, the bullying, vandalism, throwing trash in his desk.
What was the response you got, Jose? What was the response you got from the school? Because you're doing the right thing here. You're going to school and you're raising awareness. Listen, this is going on. My child goes to school. He needs to be safe.
Well, what I had is, depending on what day it was, sometimes I felt like we were just whining, complaining parents. Almost all of the times they would say it's just something that happens. It's an epidemic. The bullies are out of control. There's not much we can do. We'll talk to them. So repeated times showing up at the school resulted in no results.
No results.
Nothing.
Right. Now, I have to do this, Jose. I want to play Bruce Morton. He's from the Yuba City Unified School District to get their side and what they say they did or knew or didn't know. Take a listen.
I would like to get to the bottom also and talk to him about what his concerns are, and hopefully we can work them out for him. But I think this may have been blown out of proportion.
Blown out of, I'll tell you what, if it's my 11-year-old son, it's not blown out of proportion. Brenton, let me speak with you. And thanks for being brave enough to show up here tonight, Brenton, because I think that's a big step here, standing up for yourself and speaking up for yourself. Tell me what it's like, because I was lucky, Brenton. I was lucky. I wasn't bullied when I was a kid. Nobody bullied me in school. For whatever reason, I was lucky. You've been bullied. Tell me how that makes you feel and what it does to you, you know, each and every day when you got to go to school knowing that those kids are there.
Well, it basically feels like no one cares about me. No one wants to be nice to me or anything. Just, I don't like it.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't like it, and it shouldn't happen, Brenton. Did you feel afraid for your own safety? Did you feel like these kids are ridiculing me to the point? What I'm trying to get the folks at home to understand, because sometimes people have the reaction like your father described. Oh, you're just whining. Oh, you know, we'll try to do something. Tell me what it really does to you, Brenton. I mean, did you want to go to school every day?
No, I didn't. I didn't want to go to school. I was always in bed saying, like, oh, I don't want to go to school because, like, problems like this is always going to happen.
You know, Jose, this is tough. This is tough stuff because, you know, we have a job, and part of our job is protecting our children, but we can't protect them when they're in school. But you did the right thing, step number one. Now, we get to the next part of this story, Jose, is your son stands up for himself. Let me have Brenton tell us, first of all, what did you do? What did you say to these bullies when you confronted them? Describe the situation and tell us what you told them, and then we'll deal with what happened to you next.
Well, everyone calling me names like Brentina and like all that like gay stuff, and that really pisses me off. And I said, when I was in class after they called me, I just said to myself, not out loud or not too soft or anything, just at my regular voice, and I said, God, I wish I had a gun so I can get rid of all you bullies.
That's the statement. Now, I understand why police and authorities have to take that seriously in today's world, Jose. But that statement, from my perspective, doesn't happen if the problem is taken care of initially. So now, Jose, Brenton says these words, and they take action. Tell me what happens to your son.
Well, first of all, I'm on a flight to Cleveland, Ohio, when I get a phone call from the assistant principal of school that the police department are down there interviewing my son and comments that he made. I asked them to terminate any interviews until he had legal representation down there or his mother could be there. I then spoke to the officer, Al Ortega, and told him to terminate the interview, that I didn't want any of his civil rights violated. He told me he was going to do what he had to do, whether I liked it or not, and if I had complaints, to talk to his lieutenants.
You know what's ironic here, Jose, and I want to get as much information as I can in here, is that now is when police are called. Now's when you get a call back from the school, right? Now that your son has said
Vinny,
something.
they're being reactive, and the whole time along, a year and a half ago, between my wife, my daughter, and myself, we were trying to be proactive. We knew what was coming. It escalated from verbal abuse to physical abuse. He's come home with marks on him. And now in Yuba City, what's happening is everybody from the district to the police department is taking cover. They're lawyering up. I'm the only one without any representation. And I still have a son that's facing serious charges. These charges carry up to a year in juvenile hall.
I got to cut you off, Jose. Before we run out of time, I've got to play for everyone, spokesman for the Yuba City Police, what they had to say about this. And then I want to do something with Brenton.
Sure.
Could this have been dealt with in another way that would have sent the same message, or you don't think so?
Well, it would have been outside of what our policy and procedure is, and that's what was followed here.
Policy and, well, you need a policy and procedure for bullies as well. All right, Brenton, I notice you have a guitar. I know you're a talented young man. You think you could play a few chords for us?
Yeah, I can probably play that.
Yeah? You know, you've been through enough, Brenton. I think you deserve some national television time playing some music.
Yeah.
How much time do we have before the break here, Kurt? We have 30 seconds. Go ahead, Jose. You speak while he plays the guitar.
Vinny, also, I'd like other parents to know there was 3 other arrests of other students. The Yuba City area needs to look at being proactive instead of reactive. I also think that children should go to school out of inspiration instead of obligation. Yep. And Yuba City district officials ought to worry about education instead of incarceration.
I agree with you.
You don't arrest 10 and
Jose,
11-year-olds.
I want to give your son some time with his music.
Brenton, hit him with your song, babe.
Play us to break, Brenton.
Go ahead, son.
Good luck to both of you. Brenton, keep on playing, baby. Don't ever stop playing, Brenton.